And 33, no, 34. She'll be 34 this year. Anyway, um, we were camping and we had nice supper, and I said, well, let's start packing up tonight because we're going to leave in the morning. And there on the middle of the table, the picnic table, was the propane lamp. Okay, so it had those little things on it, really nice light. And I had a gas stove, white gas, and I noticed that it was full under pressure. So I took it off. I opened up the knob, and the gas came out onto my polyester shirt and hit the lamp in the center, the lantern, and like a flamethrower, right to my shirt. So I got fired, and I still have scars here, and it was from my nose to my belly button, and even at the tips of my ears, it was a little scorched. But after a while, I didn't have the pain because it was killing nerves. But I guess they were third-degree burns. And anyway, I finally got to a hospital, Washington Medical Center, I think it was called, one of the best fire hospitals in the country. And then I came back to San Antonio, where we were living at the time in the area, and they did skin graft. And I went to Brooke Army Hospital, which is also one of the best medical fire places to go if you get burn center, I guess. Burn unit, that's it. Yeah. Well, that's close, but quite a ways away. Yeah. Anyway, so the purpose of their burning is to rid the universe of sin. That make sense? Fire. It purifies. It cleanses. So now come over here to the book of Job. Not Job, I'm sorry, Jude, the book just before Revelation. Okay. We're in Jude, I think it's chapter 1. Yeah, Jude chapter 1. And let's see if we can find something here. Well, I guess I don't have it underlined, but it is here. And it says here, when Sodom and Gomorrah, you see this, Michael? Or where it talks about Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, here it is here. Verse 7. As Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities around them, in a similar manner of these, having given themselves over to sexual immorality and gone after strange flesh, are set forth as an example, suffering the vengeance of... Is that fire still burning? No. Eternal fire comes from an eternal God. That fire eventually went out. It's down by the Red Sea, they say, was Sodom and Gomorrah were the cities of the plain. Okay? Verse 7. Yeah. So people will take this and say, see, there is an eternal fire. But eternal fire comes from an eternal God. And it's just his presence that deals with it. So, any other thoughts here? And we're going to finish up with this in verse 12 and 13. Here is the patience of the saints. And this word patience is used in military. When the military is conquering a city, when they come to besiege a city, they have patience. And that's what this patience here is. It's a patience of endurance. They patiently endure. Okay? That's what's going on here. Here is the patient endurance of the saints. And notice the mark, or what the identifying marks is on the saints, of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. You see those two things? Commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. And it's not just part of the commandments of God, but it's all the commandments that are significant here. But now this faith of Jesus can be one of two things, and it's probably both. It could mean faith in Jesus, and it could also mean faith like Jesus. And I believe here at the end of time, it'll be both. We'll have faith in Jesus, and we'll have the faith like Jesus. That's why we have the privilege of being part of that 144,000. Symbolic number, by the way. It's probably billions, but it's a symbolic number. So, any thoughts? No? Well, let's finish it up here on verse 13. Then I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, Write, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, says the spirits, that they may rest from their labors, and their works follow them. The works are not works for salvation, but the works are how they've lived their lives in harmony with God's will. They're God's works that's in them, and that's what follows them. Does that make sense? Was this fun? Was this heavy? Not too bad? Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When God comes to take the dead, when the dead rise, will we see the angels and stuff, or will they? That's my question.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, absolutely. See, when Jesus comes a second time, every eye will see Jesus. And every eye will see the angels that are with him. In fact, we read a little bit earlier here in Revelation, when heaven is empty, silence for a half hour. That's about a week. And so there's a belief, and I kind of agree with it, I don't have a problem with it, that all of heaven is emptied. All the angels are coming down to witness this glorious event when Jesus comes again to take his people home. You know what we're going to sing when we go back home? When we go to heaven? Jeremiah chapter 24. I'm going to preach on this, I think, next time I'm here. Jeremiah. Not Jeremiah, I'm sorry. No. Psalms. Psalms 24. Psalms 24. Starting in verse 7. When we go back to heaven, and we're with Jesus and his angels, and Elijah's with them, and Enoch, and Moses, and the 24 elders are all there. They've all come down to welcome us back. So we rise from the earth, from what the Bible says. We meet Christ in the air, is what Paul says. And then we go back to the kingdom, to the heavenly kingdom. I'm not sure where it is. Maybe in the center of the universe. I don't know. But when we're going back with him, we're just overwhelmed with joy that as we see the holy city, the New Jerusalem in the distance, in unison we quote verse 7. Lift up your heads, O ye gates. Be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Now, there must be a few angels stuck there in heaven, or they go back early. Because what do they respond? Who is this King of glory? And then we, who are with Jesus, we respond by saying, the Lord, strong and mighty, the Lord, mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you gates. Lift up you everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. And when it says lift up, it doesn't mean open the doors. It means the door is too small. The height, it has to be expanded higher, because the King of glory is coming in with his redeemed from planet Earth. And then what do they say? Who is this King of glory? And we say, the Lord of hosts, he is the King of glory. And isn't it interesting that this follows what chapter?
What is the word S-E-L-A-H?
It means
Christ?
No, it means pause or you always see these words at the end sometimes.
Oh, okay.
In music, yeah, it's a musical term. So what comes before Psalm 24? Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What comes before Psalm 23? 22. And that's Christ on the cross. my God, why have you forsaken me? You can go through Psalm 22 and you can see the events of what happened to Jesus at the cross. Right here, Psalm 22. Psalm 23 is Sunday morning. So if Psalm 22 is Friday and Psalm 24, I should say, is Sunday morning, what is Psalm 23? It's the day between the Sabbath where Jesus is resting in the tomb. Anyway, that's a deep study. Now we'll pick up here Thursday evening, verse 14 of Revelation chapter 14. And we'll go on, because I think it's after 7:30 now. Yeah, a little bit, not too bad. So, thanks for coming. Any questions before we have our closing prayer?
I don't have a question, but I can tell you what you said about people, being a different colors, different skin.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I used to wonder, where they live had to do with
Oh, yeah.
their skin color.
Mm-hmm.
And the food that they eat.
Mhm.
Everything is according to what you eat,
Right.
what it has for you.
That's right.
But I have thought of that, but I just never,
Yeah. It's a good book.
Yes, it
They
is.
say it's a holy book.
I told her, I said, good way to learn it, to start at the back and go to the front.
And then go to the front. That's one way. That's one way. Okay, any other thoughts before we close? Well, let's have prayer.